I think I've always been the kind of person who lets stories shape me, like a blank canvas. I absorb characters, ideas, moments, and let them change me and inspire me. But no character has ever affected me as deeply as Ichiban Kasuga. And the funny thing is, I thought I'd hate him. He was new, he wasn't Kiryu. I'd spent years with Kiryu at this point as the main character, and suddenly this guy shows up with his wild hair and Dragon Quest obsession. But then I played like a dragon and infinite wealth. And somewhere along the way, Ichiban didn't just become my favorite character, he changed the way I see people. He made me want to be stronger, kinder. Not in a tough it out, throw your fist and power way, but in a smile and pick yourself up and say, I'm going to be fine, even when the world spits on you kind of way. When I came across Ichiban and Like a Dragon, I was going through a pretty rough patch in my life. I was burned out from work, some friends I thought would always be around had left, just finished my bachelor's, and had a decent job, but nothing really felt exciting. I was floating, stuck between uncertainty and exhaustion. I was always overthinking about what others did to me, how they acted towards me, why they didn't do what I thought they would do, or why they won't act in ways that I acted towards them. And in the middle of all this emotional turmoil, I started this game. And it begins with Ichiban as just a regular low-level Yakuza, loyal to a fault, specialist to his adoptive father Arakawa. Then comes the moment that changed everything in the game. Arakawa tells him to take the fall for a murder he did not commit. And Ichiban just does it, no hesitation. He spends 18 years in prison believing that when he comes out, someone will be there waiting. But no one is. None of his friends, no Arakawa, who told he will be there to welcome him when he's released, just silence and a random police officer. And yet, he doesn't break, even after being betrayed, even after being shot by the man he trusted the most, which happens a bit later. He stands back up, not to get revenge, but to understand why his sworn father Arakawa would do something like this. That's the thing about Ichiban. No matter how much the world hurts him, he keeps believing in people. He'll fight you, sure, but the second you show even a little bit of remorse, he's in your corner, cheering you on to be better. Watching that, a man who had every reason to give up on people, still choosing to believe, it hit different, especially when I was struggling to trust people or feeling anything at all. Throughout both the Like a Dragon games, there's a running theme in Ichiban's story. No matter how people treat him, no matter how much they betray him or break his trust, he always shows up with his heart wide open. The next moments are spoilers, so if you haven't played the games, please skip ahead to the timestamp on the screen right now, or come back to this video after you've completed both the Like a Dragon games, which I would highly recommend if you haven't. So now, with that out of the way, at the end of Like a Dragon, Ichiban confronts Ryo Aoki, who is actually Masato Arakawa, the secret son of Ichiban's beloved father figure Masumi Arakawa. Masato becomes the governor of Tokyo, using his political power to manipulate everything from the Omi Alliance, media, even started his own hate group called Bleach Japan, and he even tried multiple times to have Ichiban killed. And yet, when Ichiban finally reaches him and sees him shattered, exposed, broken, he doesn't punish him, he listens. He reminds Ryo of who he used to be. He doesn't excuse what he did, but he believes he can still choose to change, and begs him to live, atone for what he has done, and come back stronger. And that moment hit me, because Ichiban wasn't offering forgiveness from a safe distance. He was offering it after everything he'd endured. Knowing Ryo tried to have him killed multiple times, even now pointing a gun at him, Ichiban is still there for him. The level of compassion felt inhumane, or maybe it's just the most human thing ever. And then after that came infinite wealth. And at the end of this game, Ichiban does something I genuinely don't think I've ever seen a protagonist do. The main instrument to the final antagonist, Eiji, a man who manipulated Ichiban's hope, lied about his mother, and used his vulnerability, he's exposed, guilty, and hiding in his house, paralyzed by guilt and fear. Even if he wants to turn himself in, there's a furious mob outside who won't let him go out. And what does Ichiban do? He walks through all that chaos and goes to Eiji, puts him on his back, literally, and carries him to the police station. While people scream, kick him, throw rocks at him, spit on him. And Ichiban, he just takes it all, every hit, every insult, not because he agrees with what Eiji did, but because he believes in atonement, because he knows redemptions can't happen if you're dead. And somewhere along the way, Eiji breaks down, he cries, he apologizes, and instead of saying, you deserve this, Ichiban says, hey, if they wanna hate, I say let them. We know where you're at. If your heart's in the right place, that's all that matters. But even then, if you ever feel down or even a little lost, give me a call. I'll hear you out. I mean, that's what friends are for, right? And hearing that, it just broke me because I've never seen someone choose love like that. Someone who refuses to pass on the pain he'd endured. Instead, use that pain to make sure no one ever has to feel that pain ever again. That's what Ichiban taught me. Ichiban made me also realize how quick I was always to write people off, how easy it is to just close yourself and close your heart after getting hurt. He showed me that strength isn't about being hard on others, it's about being open and standing up again with your heart intact. Now, when someone hurts me, I try to pause and ask why. Not to excuse it, but to understand, to stay kind, to stay human. I still mess up, I still struggle with this a lot, but Ichiban planted that seed in me and I'm trying to water it every day. This video is also a way to enact that emotion for me. The philosophy and the final message of the story isn't something that the story just tells you, it's something it lives. Ichiban does it with Nanba, who betrayed him out of desperation. He does it with Zhao, who started off as an enemy. He does it in dozens of side stories, always lifting people up, giving them another shot, regardless of how they treated him. Even his karaoke song, The Future I Dreamed Of, reflects that. He sings about feeling broken, but still holding on to his dream of being a hero. A man who can dry more tears than anyone else because he knows how tough and awful it is to be in that position. And be a person that has been broken down by the world. That's who Ichiban is. And that message doesn't just live in the games. It also echoes in books like The Courage to be Disliked, which teaches you to treat others as comrades, not enemies. Or in Vinland Saga, where forgiveness becomes the key to true strength. Ichiban embodies all those philosophies. So, that's it from a little video about a character who inspires me to be kinder, stronger, better. I hope this makes you try the Like a Dragon series if you haven't already, and if you have, maybe it reminds you why you're not alone. And maybe somewhere out there, you'll find someone like Ichiban, someone whose kindness and strength helps you keep going, or maybe you'll become that person for someone else.